Alright, so there was this thing where I was just walking Trapper and thinking, oh yeah, I months ago went live on X, went live on Twitch, went live on YouTube, and was projecting things like most people do. Wow, it was so eloquent right before I hit live. Part of it is sitting down. I think I should stand up and go outside. The walking, when I'm actively walking, the thoughts are just going. So to go live and say, yeah, months ago I was in a headspace, let's say. I was in a headspace. I was believing certain things about myself, about reality, about my place in it all. I was really being driven by a lot of grief and regret that I was compensating for in terms of grandiosity, delusion, like, oh, I have this thing. And to attempt to describe it now, it needs a lot, so I'm not going to get into it. Point is, many people do this at different levels, different scales, different. I was on some like, I'm it, bro. I'm it. And we all are it, but we're also not all it. And there's the paradox, right? The uh, even the nature of turning this on and sharing my thoughts. Do I think I'm someone who has thoughts worth sharing that are so grand that should be shared? At least not anymore. I did. And at the same time, everyone's thoughts should be shared and heard. We all have perspective. We're all part of this. We're all in it together. Like, we're not here to ignore some of you and, oh, you want to live that way? And, yeah, and we get into. Whew, that's a whole thing. Just trying to keep it a little on topic here. It's not that I'm crazy. It's not that I have split personality, bipolar, multi, whatever. It's I'm capable of great change and great transformation, and I am quite multidimensional. I'm into many different things, and I don't always show that and express that on any given day on any given channel. That's why I had multiple accounts on multiple platforms, and I was really experimenting. I have been in an exploratory experimental phase really since 2020, 2021 pandemic. I that version of me for the previous several years was pretty overwhelmingly depressed, very pessimistic, very wanted to start shit because there was shit inside that wasn't resolved, and so I just wanted to participate in conflict outside of myself as well, and not like bad things, just like political things, like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Hey, you're wrong for thinking that. Hey, this, that, and the other. And it really took most of its form in the video game world. I was playing World of Warcraft Classic pretty hardcore, and there was just a lot of banter, a lot of us versus them, whether it's Alliance versus Horde, whether it's inter guild rivalry on the same faction, on the same server, cross servers, cross regions, US versus EU. There's a lot of that. But especially the political lining throughout my life from 9/11 when I was, what, 6 years old, 6, 7, to making a decision at 9 years old for some reason. At least I prayed. I was like, oh, I want to help save the world. That underlined a lot of my life, even through the depression phases, even through the many months and sometimes years where I wasn't doing anything actively about it. Sure, I would go online and read the news and go to different outlets. What is the mainstream left, the mainstream right saying? What are these other outlets saying? What are regular individual people saying around me out in real life? My parents, my friends, strangers online, strangers in public forums, here and there. So I spent my life trying to understand everything. Why am I going down this route? I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't hit live. There's a lot that wants to say and wants to write, and has been throughout my life, even starting half a decade and a half ago. I was creating when I was in middle school, high school, creating online, anonymous, pseudonymous blogs. I was live streaming back then before Twitch was even a thing. Just there's a lot of me that wants to talk and write, and maybe it's the Gemini ascendant in me, and it's maybe the midheaven moon in Aquarius that likes to think about the collective, wants to think about us. But most of my life has actually just been me projecting what I've been lacking inside. Going to Denver and Costa Rica and then coming back, so the last 2 months, has been very revelatory, has been very healing, very humbling, very healing. I do have a capacity of great transformation I write and journal a lot and reflect on myself a lot, and within weeks, big changes can happen. And this isn't just like, oh, he's going manic, oh, he's this, oh, he's whatever. No, take my birth chart to an astrologer, point at the 29th degree Jupiter Pluto in Scorpio conjunction, and yeah, they'll tell you the same thing. Don't need to prove anything. 2 years ago, I wrote a blog, have nothing to prove, and this really reflects where I've been in the last 2 years, where in the same breath, I have nothing to prove, and then here's a paragraph of like, oh, but I'm into this, like, please acknowledge the fact that I'm so dynamic, but I have nothing to prove. But like, you know, this, but I have nothing to prove. Kind of been doing that. And so the very nature of flipping this on, whether it was a stream or this video, if I choose to upload it or not, what am I trying to prove? Am I trying to prove anything? No, number one, primarily, there's just an energy that wants to come out. It's coming out right now. There's no uhs and ums and buts. There's no hesitation. There was a hesitation. It just wants to come out. So, one, energy wants to come out. Just, there's something to say. Maybe we got to get through a few minutes of bullshit to get to the point. I often forget the main reason why I'm doing a thing until I'm already doing it, and then I'll get like, oh yeah, that was the whole point of doing this anyway. That's how my mind works sometimes. Two, I do want to improve my articulation, my legibility, comfort on camera. Maybe this is going to go somewhere. Outside of grandiose thinking, if I'm able to talk about cool events that I've been attending that I think the knowledge, the sharing of which would help others, either encourage people to come to the events or some good, wise, knowledgeable takeaway, educational takeaway. If I could educate, maybe I step into education a little bit. Maybe I make little videos, whether it could just take the form of tutorials, Web3 coding tutorials, Web3 game development tutorials. It could go one half a step above that of sharing news about what's going on in that world or other world. Maybe refi regen stuff. Wow, amazing. People are doing amazing things I'm discovering, and I probably should just share about it. I have hesitation flipping on. Am I going to say the right thing? If I just flip it on, let's see what comes out. Then I can go back, chop, edit, add visuals, add sound like I've been doing with my creative projects. Just do the thing. Maybe it takes another step above that where I take a more active role in trying to inspire people to action. I've been writing that kind of poetically. I'm like, oh, my goal is to inspire, connect, and coordinate populations to regenerative action. I've been saying that. Haven't really been doing much of that. It's just been really nice to think, oh, wouldn't that be nice if I were to do that? But it is deep inside of me. That's why it comes out in many different forms, whether it's coordinate drops in the ocean into generative tsunamis. That's a fun way to say it. Or I will help humanity unite and harmonize on and with Earth before we go interstellar. Keyword before. I don't think we should just abandon the planet, say peace out. No, we need Earth. And maybe we can't ever leave Earth. That's a whole other thing too. Not going to get into that. Have no opinions on that. So, I can just go. So I'm kind of doing this to also prove to myself there is this energy that exists that wants to engage, and it does burn out, it does need rest. There are other things that I'm into. Do I think I'm all that important? I did. Yes. The main point of me, if I were to flip on my stream, would be like, hey, yes, while I have nothing to prove, I made a commitment 2.5 years ago, to be as completely open and transparent on the internet as possible. Well, there is probably such a thing as oversharing, though none of it was like too bad. It just didn't attract and definitely didn't hold on to an attractor beam of resonance with people I admire and people I want to co-create with, because I was just, and there was a lot going through. Recently I tell myself, because it does seem evident and true, I was sick, and now I've been healing. I am far less sick than ever. In fact, I feel really great. My energy levels could still be better. Some decision making's not the best. Yesterday I had to go back to the store twice. Forgot something the first time. I was like, wow, my memory. Nope, we're not gonna spiral into that. What is the problem? I also have a problem in my throat. A little like, I don't know, ulcer thing. Not fun. Kind of hurts to talk, and I'm just doing it anyway. Yes, the point was to flip on and say, hey, going back to read some of my tweets from just 3 months ago, I was on some weird head-ass shit that I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, this rant, that, just great grand place in the universe, and I am this and that, and by just showing my authenticity so transparently, how genuine I am, that's going to elevate me into a capacity to help humanity be free. Really, I just want to be poetic. Not I want to be, I just want to surrender to the creative inspiration that flows through me, which is often poetic, which is often in the form of grand game design ideas, often in the form of a dozen new Notion pages that all interlink with the other ones that I have, and then I forget and I stumble upon the old ones and I go, holy shit, this is only like, I've only had this thing for 10 months and it's insane. Maybe I should have a Wikipedia, like my own like wiki space of just shit that I've thought of and have linked. My friend has encouraged me on this with a very specific purpose. That was a couple of years ago, and that's not what I'm pursuing now. So I wanted to kind of go through, I don't know, do I want to do this? Where I go on stream, going back through the old tweets. I'm not just deleting them, I am going to screenshot them, save them, and put them in. I do want to provide commentary at some point in time. It's too soon now, and I really need income, unless someone wants to like fund me to do this idea, or fund me to do the other book ideas, the other creative things, get the first album of music out, which I don't exactly resonate with anymore, but I want to get it out so I can get to the new stuff. I feel like there's a block there. Need to get it out, but money, money, money. Time, priority. I've been on this 11 and a half minutes, and I do have work here in 10 more minutes. To go through, save, and delete those tweets, because I do want to. I am now emerging into someone that I finally feel is calm and aligned with himself and his higher self, or these sorts of things. Namely, having gotten rid of the very toxic and false belief that there is some sort of judgmental sky daddy, this patriarchal view that goes to like a few thousand years ago. Before then, it was all about really the great goddess, great mother worship. That as above, so below. If we're birthed by a mother, we are also spiritually birthed by a mother. That all of this is birthed by a mother, but it requires a father element to like seed it. There's always that Shiva Shakti. Is there really a beginning? Maybe not. Isn't that crazy? Not really when you think, okay, we're this dual universe that is just playing, but it has this inner non-duality, this oneness where it just emanates, it just is. And then you go back and you realize it's not. Anyway, that's pretty heady, with a whole lot of context missing, but it's sort of Emerald Tablet type thing. It's like, this is the thing, but okay, in order for you to really get here, you might have to go through all this other stuff to bring it here. Then you realize, oh, why didn't I just get it the first time I heard it? Well, because our minds are out there. We don't teach these things anymore. We've been lost. In some circles. Some others, they've been there. They've managed amazingly to preserve these traditions, this wisdom, and carry it on to their children. In other circles, they've done the same thing, but with a, so we can manipulate all this for world domination. There are those people. Black magic. This is white magic, black magic. There's neutral energy that we can choose to interact with. It responds to our intention. I have to be very careful about this and even sharing this information. So yes, very good. Just kind of doing this for my own benefit, actually, to say, oh, there is something here. But I do want to share online. I am becoming more legible. I'm becoming more confident. A lot more grounded, too. And in a lot of ways, most, if not every way, I'm grateful that I did not put myself out there so much before. And at least I can go back, delete stuff. It's only been exposed to a couple hundred people, most of them random, most of them not going to remember. Not that I need to curate my image. But this is the new me. It has been for several weeks. This is not a hypomanic state. This is me still integrating a lot of what I've been learning and stepping forward, finally, as the me that is always meant to be. So, hey. I'm Bruce Dean Robinson. I've go by Bruce Starlove sometimes online, still trying to sort all this socials out. I might revive my old gaming identity, Lavitz, under Lavitz Online. One thing that's been wild is coming back to, oh, so I'm allowed to play games. The reason I felt such resentment is because, whoa, my spirit, body, mind, what have you. It's like, okay, yeah, our financial situation is kind of fucked, so we're going to adopt these beliefs in order to get myself to doing the things to then realize to go back, oh, I was right the whole time. But you have to make sure you got to take care of things first so that you can play. It's all about play. It's all about fun, but we need containers to be able to play and have fun in. And when the containers are unstable, when they're damaged, when they're open, we got to fix the holes. All right. So that's that. Do I upload this? I don't know. Maybe unlisted, share with people. We'll see where we are a month from now. Cool. It's May, 8th, 9th, and I got work in 4 minutes, so yeah, peace.